Well, people, here we go. Another day. It's about 3 o'clock. I've actually had the flu the past 2 days. I feel like these videos are depressing. So, I had the flu the past whatever, and I've just been out of it. I've been trying to just be honest. My life really hasn't changed that much between me having the flu and me being healthy. But yeah, it's actually been good. I finished this book called Choose Yourself by James Altucher. It's pretty good. His whole philosophy is about this guy who lost all his money and how you can't rely on anybody and you got to do it yourself, which I love that philosophy. But what else happened? Oh yeah. No, nothing else happened. I might get a haircut because I feel like my hair is just too much right now. So I might do that, get a haircut, and I got some job interview stuff. Some company wants to interview me for, I don't know, shooting videos for their brands and stuff. Who the hell knows? I don't even care. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna leave my apartment because I think just getting out of the house will be a good experience for me. So I tried writing jokes last night. You know, I try to write every day, whether it's, I've got 3 things I'm creatively doing. I'm writing a novel, writing another pilot, and I'm writing always working my act. Yesterday I didn't do any of those 3 things. Actually I did, I worked on the pilot, but I tried to write jokes, and it always frustrates me when I always try to write like 5 jokes a day, and sometimes I can't write 1 joke, and I'm like, God, what is, it used to be easier when I was younger. Now it's like sometimes I just have these weird creative blocks. I don't know if anybody even watches this, does anything creative, but it's never easy. There's this constant battle to, put out your work, your best work. Okay. God, I'm tired. I don't know what I'm tired from. Tired from sleeping. So my goal is to get out of this bed, which may or may not happen. Well, let's see what happens. Well, I did it. I left my house. This vlog is probably a huge disappointment for if I actually have any fans left. It's like, wow, this is his life for real. Okay, so I'm gonna get my haircut. I've decided I'm going to a place called Rudy's. It's on Melrose. You know, it's kind of pricey. It's like $40-something for a haircut. And I could probably find someplace cheaper, but screw it. As you can tell, I rarely spend money on myself, so I might as well. When I do spend money, it's for like stuff that like helps me, like jiu-jitsu or haircuts or occasional date here or there. But so I'm gonna go to Rudy's, see what they can do. I was supposed to go with this girl tonight. Let's match with her on some dating site. One, I feel ridiculous going out on these dates because I have no headspace to go on dates for some reason. But I just feel like I have to be like a normal person, so I'll go on these dates. So I went out with this girl last month. She was like an optometrist, Indian girl, like 30s, whatever, super professional, which is so not my wheelhouse. Usually they're like these models or actors who don't have their shit together. Man, this girl got so bored of me real quick, like just ended up ghosting me after like 3 or 4 dates. And at first it bugged me, but then I was like, you know what? When I was on the date, when I was hanging out with her, I was realizing, man, this girl would not laugh at anything I said. It was like we didn't connect. And I was just I just wanted her to like me because she was Indian, and I was like, oh, this is like getting approval from my society or something. So long story short, she ended up texting me a couple days ago apologizing for ghosting me And she was like, yeah, I'm really busy, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I just didn't respond back. I don't know why I have this resentment when girls disappear on me, because I just feel like it's not a proper way to treat someone, whether you get along with them or don't. Just be a man about it. Like, call up someone and be like, hey, this isn't working out, blah, blah, blah. State your case, but ghosting is not ethical in my humble opinion. Do I like Los Angeles? I heard a comedian say this. His name is Godfrey, and I thought this was really accurate. He said, what makes LA really, powerful and kind of perilous place to live is that you're always dealing with rejection, like nonstop. Like, that's a fact. Like, if you're after a dream out here, there's like 1,000 other people going after that same dream. So you're always dealing with rejection, but it's always sunny here, right? And what connotation goes with sunny? Happiness. So it's like this weird dichotomy of like you're always in this state of turmoil, yet it's always sunny. Like, you're supposed to be happy, yet you're dealing with feelings of rejection and sadness. So it's almost like your brain can't process, or my brain can't process it sometimes. I think a lot of people on my YouTube page are from the DCOC days, and actually nobody asked this, but I'm sure people wonder why I don't act in mainstream stuff. And I don't like auditioning for things. And every time I've been on set for other projects, I've never really enjoyed it, being honest with myself. Like, I did a movie last year. It's called DOE. It's not released yet. Like, Mira Sorvino is in it. Some B-level stars like Tatiana Ali. And the lead of it was in my jiu-jitsu class, and he just referred me for the movie. And it was for like a 2-line thing. And then they saw my stuff, and they were like, we think you can play a bigger part. They gave me like one of the, not lead roles, but it was like one of the main roles, where I was like a doctor in 2 scenes. It was a good experience, but I was also just like, man, I hated not being in control of my dialogue. Like, just being a character was not fulfilling enough for me. And then when you're not shooting, you're in a trailer just hanging out for like 9 hours straight. I was like, man, this isn't fun. So anyways, like, shortly after that, my theatrical agent dropped me, because he was like, yeah, I'm not getting you into rooms and whatever. I didn't even care. I was like, this is great, because I'm tired of this anyways. And then last week, this kid emails me out of the blue. I don't know who this guy is, but he's like, hey, I wrote this movie script. I want you to be the lead in it. It's about this South Asian superhero, blah, blah. And, he sent me the script. It's okay. It was funny. So I was like, oh, this is totally something I'm not even pursuing, yet this kid is asking me, and he like CC'd like his writing partner. Like, they put a lot of thought behind it. They wanted me to play the lead of this comedy movie, and if this was 10 years ago, I would have killed for that. I would have been like, yeah, definitely, I want to be in a comedy movie. And it does not sound like a cheap movie. It sounds like they have to raise a lot of money for it. So I thought about it. I was like, well, should I say no? And I was like, I'm probably gonna. This was a goal of mine years ago to do a comedy movie that I didn't have to produce myself. So I told him, I was like, yeah, sure. Tell you what, if you end up raising money for this, I will do it. Just give me a heads up. The closer you are to the project, so I can prepare myself. Meaning, jump back into an acting class. Just get mentally prepared, because acting is a serious thing. You can't just show up. You have to. For me, I'm not that good where I can just show up and do stuff. I've got to kind of put myself in that mindset. So the one thing I took away from that experience was this kid's I don't want to say naive, but he had this eagerness where he doesn't know how hard it's going to be, because I think he must be like in his mid-20s. And he was telling me like all the people he wants to attach to it, and how it's his work. He's already sold some moves to MTV, so he's got some heat going in his direction. But he's got that young brazenness, which I think you need to really survive in Hollywood. And I had that when I was coming up. I was just producing things left and right without even thinking if it was going to be successful or not. And then as you get older, you're like, God damn, this is life. Just put a gun to my head. So, let's see. Maybe it'll be nothing, but maybe it could be something. All right, back in my car. Just gonna, I don't know, get a shake somewhere. Not coffee. I don't think coffee is good for me. So I was talking about that acne thing. Another quick story is, years and years ago, when I first started doing stand-up comedy, it was me, Russell Peters, Jerry Bednoff, maybe some other guy in Canada, but there weren't many Indian comedians. So whenever there'd be like an Indian function, they'd always like call me. Somewhere or another, I kind of fell off that call list, which is fine. I'm all for other Indians doing well. But so anyways, this past week, this girl reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, will you do our South Asian show in Hollywood at UCB Theater?" And I definitely said yes. I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." I think I haven't done those shows in years, where it's like an all Indian young audience. I don't know. I think it's like April 13th or something. It's a Saturday. I'll post it somewhere. If anybody's in town, they want to come to the show, I'll be there. But I said, I'm only going to do it if I can be Bobby Khan. I'm sure she was like, what? Because I think a lot of people still know me. I mean, I did perform as Tarun for 20 years, so I just seem like this crazy person. He'll do the show, but only if he can be this movie character that he did 10 years ago. So, something to look forward to. I think you need those shows to keep motivating. I need those shows to keep motivating myself to keep writing jokes and improving. Because otherwise, what's the point, right? I don't know anybody starts doing anything in the arts because there's nothing, you're starting at ground zero. One of my friends just did James Corden show, and he did it on Monday. It's a pretty funny guy, Ryan Connor. And it's cool because I saw him do his set on Saturday at the Improv, and it was whatever. He went up late, and then he went on the James Corden show and just killed. It's like those TV sets are just, the energy's unreal. Like, that'd be amazing to get on TV and do stand-up. I've been trying. I sent my stuff over to Jimmy Kimmel, but they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll keep you in mind." It's like, whatever. All right, I drove to a coffee shop. I know this is not the healthiest thing I need in my body right now, but I do have a caffeine addiction. If I could inject caffeine into my body, I would do it. I seriously would go to Skid Row and buy it from a crack dealer, knowing full well that I'd risk going to jail because that's how much I love it. So I pulled, I'm outside of, I think it's Blue Bottle Coffee. It's on Beverly. It's the most nauseating place to walk into because it's so like LA, like Asian kids on their bird scooters. It's this horrific. You'll see. Last time I was there, I saw these two. Who did I see? I saw Fahim Anwar, this other comedian. Both funny guys. It's like sitting outside with their coffees, and I was like, "You guys doing a podcast?" They're like, "What?" Anyways, yeah, let's go. Or we're killing time, right? This is a normal thing to do. I'm killing time. I've got a half hour. What am I going to do otherwise? Meditate in my car? I mean, got to do something, right? Okay, and we are back at the barbershop again. I know this has been quite an adventure. But I think part of the reason why I want to get my haircut is like, and that's why I work out as well. Like how you, when I wake up, if I look like a mess, if I haven't worked out in days, I just feel like shit. And it does something to me psychologically, where at least I can, look in the mirror and be like, oh, okay, I like the way I look. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm getting a haircut today. So, got my hair cut. I know it looks exactly the same, but trust me, I got it cut. But funny, I was lying to the girl at the register for no reason. You ever do that? Just like lie, and you're just like, why am I lying here? She goes, I had my cap on, it's a Red Sox cap. She's like, oh, you're a Red Sox fan? I was like, yeah, from New England. She goes, oh, from Boston? Then I was like, then I gotta start saying from New Hampshire, then New Hampshire's in New England. And I was like, yeah, I'm from Boston. And she goes, what were you doing in Boston? First of all, it's like, what is it your business what I'm doing in Boston? I'm part of the witness protection program. So I was like, I went to school there. And she goes, what school did you go to? And I'm like, I gotta come up with a school? I'm like, Harvard. All of a sudden I went to Harvard. I just wanted to pay for my haircut. All of a sudden I'm a Harvard grad who's living in Boston to study chemistry. Who the hell knows? And I was like, God, how did I end up here? I'm probably gonna end up marrying this girl down the road. And I've got to now fess up to her and tell her that my whole education is a lie. But I'm happy with my haircut, I think. I think today's been productive, considering that I was sick for half the day. I'm going to start writing, which is way less glamorous than it sounds. Basically, when I write anything to do with TV or books, it's a matter of me just getting myself in front of a computer and just going. And then when I write stand-up, I have to mentally place myself in... I've got to imagine myself performing for these shows so I can kind of... It's a weird psychology thing that I have to do with my brain where I'm like, all right, I got to pretend I'm there to actually, generate jokes. It's weird. Sometimes I even dress up. It's weird. I'll dress up like Bobby Khan sometimes. And during a corporate show, I'll wear a jacket if I'm trying to write clean jokes. But it's just to get the creative flow going. So that's what I'm going to do for the next 2 hours. Yeah. Life of Tarun Shetty. It's glamorous, right, people? See ya.